It is a torture which I don't want to recall. Physical, mental, everything what you can imagine. They threaten that they will bring my son, they will bring my wife, they will bring my daughter, and they will beat them up, and then unless you accept what they say. Oh, I don't want to recall that. I will collapse.
He was mentally and physically tortured by the officials in the name of interrogations. He collapsed after standing for 30 hours during interrogations. His wife was disrespectfully forced out of a rickshaw by the driver while it was raining heavily outside due to charges of being a spy against him. She went into depression due to what society gave them even after her husband being a scientist who would invent rocket fuel technology for India.
You will be horrified to think such a situation happening in a democratic country like ours.
His children and other family members were refused prasad by the temples due to an espionage case against him which wasn't even proved yet.
This is a typical case which I am sure that this country will keep recalling even 100 years from now.
The greater the struggle, the more glorious the triumph. Denying all the failures and struggles that came his way, S. Nambi Narayanan proved that no matter how many times you fall, what matters is how many times you get up and get going. This video is a tribute to the man himself, Mr. Nambi Narayanan, who struggled to prove himself right, won all the cases against him, and eventually received the third highest civilian honor of India, Padma Bhushan Award. But before proceeding, how about a face reveal on 100k subs? For a hint, we are just two people who run this channel, so please click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Mr. Nambi Narayanan was born on 12 December 1941 in Nagarkoil, Travancore, now known as Kanyakumari district of Tamil Nadu, to a middle-class Brahmin family. He received his degree in mechanical engineering from Madras University and joined the Indian Space Research Organisation in 1966 and first met Vikram Sarabhai, an ace Indian astronomer who granted him leave to go for higher education if he could enroll in Ivy League University. Eventually, bright-minded Nambi got enrolled in Princeton University in 1969, where he completed his master's program there in chemical rocket propulsion in just 10 months.
I graduated in mechanical engineering and then I studied in Princeton, USA. I specialized in combustion instability, worked for NASA, and about 30-35 years of experience in ISRO.
He earned NASA fellowship, and even after being offered a job in the US, he returned to India and expertise in liquid propulsion. He introduced the liquid fuel rocket technology while APJ Abdul Kalam's team was still working with solid motors. Nambi knew the need for liquid-fueled engines for growth of ISRO's space programs.
My major contribution is the liquid propulsion systems in India with a special reference to the Vikas engine.
Everyone encouraged him, and in 1992, India signed a deal with Russia, according to which Russia would give technology to develop cryogenic fuel-based engines for 235 crores to India. However, US intervened and wrote a letter to Russia asking them to cancel the deal or else they will have to face consequences. Since recently USSR dissolved in 1991, Russia wasn't as strong back then and had to cancel the deal under pressure. Finding a way out, India signed a new deal with Russia, according to which Russia would give 4 cryogenic engines and 2 mock-up for about $9 million. Things for ISRO would have changed completely as India could have fabricated engines at a very cheaper rates, but it could not happen due to the false espionage case of 1994. So what was this espionage case, which turned such an intelligent rocket scientist's life upside down? Let us try to understand the complete case in a timeline. In October 1994, a Maldivian woman named Mariam Rashida was arrested in Thiruvananthapuram for obtaining ISRO rocket engine drawings and secretly selling them to Pakistan. After a few days, her friend Fausia Hassan was also arrested. Mr. Nambi Narayanan was the director of cryogenic project at ISRO at that time, and in November 1994, he was arrested allegedly for leaking the drawings to these women arrested. Along with Nambi, Deputy Director of ISRO D. Shashikumaran and Indian representative of a Russian space agency K. Chandrasekhar S.K. Sharma were also arrested on espionage charges.
18 years back, I was accused of having sold the cryogenic technology. But even today we don't have the technology. That is one point. Second point is, such technologies cannot be transferred just like that. See, we had, on a legal contract, went to France, stayed there for more than 3 to 4 years, with a backup team supporting us, about 2,500 engineers. With all those, we took 19 years to make that system. How the hell you can transfer this technology through these two uneducated ladies? That is second point. And third point is, After all, this is sold by France to us. Now, if Pakistan is interested, they can as well go to France and then get it for a cheaper price, because after all, it was only 1 crore. In Qatar, expenses are only 1 crore for this technology. So the whole case was that we transferred this technology, and for a huge sum, 400 crores. And
what they could buy for 1 crore or 2 crores,
Yeah.
you are supposed to have sold for 400 crores?
400 crores, that too through these two uneducated Maldivian women, and that too by giving them drawings.
Nambi spent 50 days in jail. In January 1995, the ISRO scientists were released on bail and the case was handed over to CBI.
They refused, they didn't give me a seat. They asked me to stand. They didn't give me water when I asked for water. They said, you don't deserve a water. And slowly, I became rigid. And I kept on standing. Then I think it was more than 24 hours, I'm sure. Without sleep, without water, without food. I collapsed.
In April 1996, the CBI filed a report to the Kerala court where they clearly mentioned lack of evidences to prove espionage case and that the case was false. As a result, all the cases were dismissed in May, but again in June, the Kerala government decided to reinvestigate the case by state police.
CBI gives a report closing the case, stating that it is a false case, and CJM court accepts it. And still the government of Kerala, instead of going on an appeal against the CJM court, they wanted to do investigation, further investigation, dismissing the CBI's findings.
In May 1998, Supreme Court of India quashed all the cases against Narayanan and ordered the state government to pay the scientists a compensation of ₹1 lakh. In April 1999, Nambi approached NHRC demanding compensation from the state for mental harassment and torture in the false case. In 2001, Mr. Nambi retired and in March, NHRC ordered the government of Kerala to pay ₹10 lakhs to him as a compensation, but the state did not agree to this.
So-called spy case was a fabricated one. Who said this? CBI said this. And then it was accepted by the CJM court, further accepted by the Supreme Court, and further accepted by National Human Rights Commission. Who else you need to say that this is a fabricated case? Now, what is the case? Why the hell they can't pay this compensation and be done with that? They are fighting this case.
After long 11 years, the High Court ordered state to pay him ₹10 lakhs in September 2012. Just the next month after compensation was ordered, in October 2012, the Kerala state dropped charges against the police officials who were alleged to have falsely implicated Narayanan in the espionage case, stating that the case was almost 15 years old now. In fact, a top officer involved was made Chief Information Commissioner in Kerala.
These people who have done the crime are elevated, promoted, and given merits, medal of meritorious service. What are we doing?
On 7th November 2013, Nambi moved to the Supreme Court against the state, seeking justice and to expose those who were behind the conspiracy. On 14 September 2018, the Supreme Court appointed a 3-members bench to look into this matter, and on 8th May, Supreme Court stated that it is considering reinvestigation of the SIT officer's role in this case. Finally, on 14 September 2018, the bench awarded Mr. Nambi Narayanan a compensation of ₹50 lakhs for being a subject of mental torture in the false case against him.
It is not the amount of money which matters here. The order says very clearly that this is a malicious prosecution, and my arrest was certainly not needed, and there was no evidence whatsoever. That is more important to me. It is very clearly putting it on record that I was innocent. I have nothing to do with the espionage.
On 26 January 2019, he was honored with the Padma Bhushan Award by the Government of India.
And today this award gives a feeling that, that is recognized. That is, my contribution is recognized. In other words, I am happy to know that I am going to be known as a man who has contributed rather than a victim of the spy.
After fighting for over 25 long years for his dignity and honor, justice was served and Mr. Nambi returned home as a respected man and an example for everyone else. Nambi Narayanan's another achievement was that after working for nearly 2 decades along with the French's help, Nambi's team developed the Vikas engine used by several ISRO rockets that took Chandrayaan-1 to the moon in 2008. However, the question still remains, why would Kerala government try to challenge the decision of High Court and Supreme Court multiple times? What was the benefit to mentally torture Nambi for so many years? Well, according to Nambi, this could be an international conspiracy to derail Nambi's cryogenic project so that ISRO falls behind in the international space race.
See, it was a 7-year program. The 7-year program has slipped 18 years and nobody bothers. This is what our competitors would have asked for. They want to derail the whole thing. They want to delay you. They don't want you to be in the competition. And that only way is this. So I found that America was applying pressure on the Russians to cancel it. And then they said, at least don't give them the technology. So if you really look at the entire story, from somewhere from blue, a spike evolves, emerges, and by my earlier explanation, you knew that it cannot take place. And as rightly found out by the CBI, it was a fabricated, false case. And whatever is the charge, even after 18 years, there is no truth in it. And simultaneously, Russia is cancelling, annulling our contract. And the net result is we are the people who lose the technology part of it. And the demoralization in ISRO, unexpected delay in the cryogenic realization. Now here it is obvious that what could be the motive is to remove you from the competition. And who could be the beneficiary is those competing companies which are competing with each other. Is it possible for them to do this? They can't do it because they can't come here. So they have to get it done only through some other people. Who are these people? Our own people.
Was the decision of rejecting US job offer and coming to India with a vision to take the nation to higher levels his fault? Well, the latest we know is that on 14th April 2021, the Supreme Court of India ordered a CBI probe into the involvement of police officers in the conspiracy. There is also a movie coming on Mr. Nambi Narayanan's life titled Rocketry, The Nambi Effect, where R. Madhavan will play his role. Thank you for watching till the end. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon.